message from the management. Eating or drinking while watching these videos is not advised. You do this at your own risk. And please don't come running to me when you snot coke all over your computer screen. Hi guys, welcome back to Exposed. And if I'm welcoming you back and you like it here, I'd love it if you stayed and subbed. Life advice with Lola. Yeah, we'd get more fucking life advice from Lola than we're going to get from you. Ask me anything. Confidence, marriage, aging and life at 55. Plus Lola. Ask her anything. You've just done a 2-part Ask You Anything. Why are we asking you anything again? What advice can she give people? Really? What? How to snag a man that'll do anything you ask him to do. What's it? Fucking... I can't think of the word. Switch out of your children's lives when they hit 18. How to get constant me time all day, every day and enjoy it. I couldn't do that. It'd drive me mad if I didn't see my lot at least 100 times a day. Do you know what I mean? No. Right, shall we jump in?
Hey guys. Okay, so today we are going to finish the question and answer. And what I've done is I've tried to kind of situate myself to the side here because Lola Bonnie. What are you doing? What are you doing?
She said I was having a fine time around the corner on my own before you started screeching at me. Lola! It's no wonder she doesn't come. She's so small, isn't she? Bless her. See, I could cope with a dog that size. I could set up a thing, you know, like they have for horses where they go round and round in circles. They're training them for dressage. I could do that with a chihuahua, couldn't I? In the back garden, so they got their exercise. Or just play catch for a couple of hours. Anywho.
I would love to pick her up and show her to you, but the game now is run away. So we got her...
Run away from you is the game.
Not her final, but 2 shots yesterday. She weighs 3.2 pounds. Had a fecal exam, got flea stuff, did all the things, got her toenails trimmed. And I am going to call the puppy classes and see if they have to have the Bordetella. But we didn't want to do it yesterday since she had the other 2. So I am not somebody that's obsessed with all the tricks or anything, but I do want her to come when I call her. And I'm working on, with the treats and not picking her up, but hasn't sank in yet. But she has her little harness on because she is doing so good with walking outside in the grass, which sounds like a really simple thing, but
she's cute. She really does have a cute little face. And who's in the garden with her again? John.
This dog had never touched grass. And you'll notice with walking outside in the grass, which sounds like a really simple thing, but this dog had never touched grass.
She's not listening to us at all, is she?
And you'll notice even in here, she's not going to go off of this rug yet because she's funny about the textures, but she has been doing great on a leash and she has been pottying outside, which was another hurdle that we've jumped because even when I took her outside, she wasn't going potty, but now she is. So we are making great...
Am I the only one that gets fucking cooked out at the use of potty? She went potty. Really? How old are you?
Progress. And I thought I would just sit over here so you could maybe see her playing. If you see her playing with a Velcro roller or something that is not a toy, that is because that's what she loves the most. Okay, so let's get started with the rest of the questions. And I know there's...
Questions. I hate it when she does that. Lisa, if there's one thing you can stop doing that and okay. Just, you're not on the radio. You can have quiet time.
Going to be one in here. I have not read these since I read them more than a week ago, but I remember there being a question in here about confidence, and I think that's worthy.
You have no confidence, though. That's the thing. How can you tell anybody else about confidence when you have none? And I don't think it's something you can teach people. You either have it or you don't. Pardon me. And by our age, you should be confident in your own skin. Yeah, in school you probably weren't because you were comparing yourself to every fucker else, which I wasn't, but I was getting bullied. That's the fun part. But by the time you get to 50, 60, 70, if you haven't got confidence then, give it up. You're never going to have it.
Of a whole video. It's so much more than one aspect. And so I do want to do a whole video on that.
Oh, please don't.
But okay. Hey lady, how do you organize all your makeup? Oh, it's still not really organized. Luckily, Brooke is working on that for me. She just washed all of my brushes. They were everywhere. And she organized them for me. And then we're working on the other things right now. She's upstairs steaming. I have some really good fashion videos coming up.
Right, Lisa. You make 3 videos a week, possibly. Somebody else edits them for you. So basically, you just sit there 3 times a week. I'll give you 2 hours, even if it's only a half an hour video, right? I'll give you 2 hours of video. That's 6 hours a week that you're filming. You're telling me that you can't fit in organising your makeup, washing your brushes and steaming your own clothes? Please tell. That's what I want to know. That's what my question would be. But she wouldn't answer it, and she definitely wouldn't answer me. What is your average day? Or what is your average week? What do you do Monday to Friday? I'll give you the weekend off even. What do you do Monday to Friday? How do you think normal people run houses, look after children, wash all the family's clothing, iron it themselves, cook meals, wash up, because a lot of us over here don't have dishwashers, take the kids to and from school, look after their husband, iron his fucking clothes, be available to do whatever at the drop of a hat when your kid tells you, oh, tomorrow it's such and such day at school. Help them with their homework, teach them how to read, blah-de-blah-de-blah. They're full days. What the fuck are you doing? And those women that are doing that still find time to keep their stuff organised and wash their own fucking makeup brushes and iron their own clothes. So why are you so fucking special? You've got a team behind you.
Up, and then we're shipping the lipsticks. Okay, today I have on, coming right now, she's upstairs steaming. I have some really good fashion videos coming up, and then we're shipping the lipsticks. Okay, today I have on...
Yeah, of course we are. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm all for having the family to help out if you've got a lot on your plate. If I said to my lot, I'm thinking of making X, Y or Z, and we're going to post them from here, so we're going to have to make the boxes, put the inserts in, pack whatever they've ordered, put a card on top, write a thank you, close it, stick it, ship it. But, as you know, I get very fatigued easily and I can sleep for a long time. If that's happening and there's orders coming in, can you help me do that? And then when I'm awake, I'll do it myself. But she doesn't do that. Oh, we're going to do whatever. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Oh, I'm just so busy. John, can you do it? Will, can you do it? Brooke, can you do it? Sorry about the chewing gum, but it's xylitol gum that I'm chewing after I eat because of this woman. It was supposed to be good for your teeth, but I've got a hole in a crown. I've got a wobbly tooth, so if I'm not chewing this gum to help my teeth, I'm chewing cloves to numb this one because it's driving me mad. And if you ever hear it clicking, it clicks in my head. I don't know if you can hear it clicking because it moves and it's hitting on the top tooth because it's not where it's supposed to be, and it drives me insane. So if you ever hear like a tink 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 noise, it's my tooth. It's not wobbly enough to pull out yet, and I don't want to like do any damage and trying to get a dentist appointment's like looking for a unicorn. So anywho, it's not about me. I'll go off on one. Right, it's back to Lisa.
Entrepreneur lip liner. And this is a lipstick that I love, and it's going to come up in my next drop. So, she's so cute. Believe me, it has been quite an adjustment to have this new puppy. A wonderful adjustment. But things are different. Like, I am scatterbrained because I'm constantly,
You're always fucking scatterbrained. Don't be using the puppy.
concerned with that. But the vet appointment, okay, that went well. And what else was I going to tell you about the vet appointment? But even when I take her there, I have her on a leash and the harness because I just think to myself, what if I were to trip and fall and she would run away from me? So, okay, back to...
What if I were to trip and fall? Why would you trip and fall? Maybe if you weren't fucking carrying her everywhere under your jumper. If you don't want to put her down on the ground, put her in a fucking pet carrier and carry that. How do you think I used to get my cat to the vet? Shove her up my jumper and hope for the best? Fuck's sake.
Hey lady, how do you organize all your makeup? So I don't know if you guys can see in my bathroom. You can't. I have about, I would say 10 drawers because when we looked at this model house, there was a place to pull up a chair. And so what I did is took that out and made it all drawers, knowing I needed it for makeup. So I have it there. And then,
see, she's got all that. 10 drawers where she can organise her daily makeup. And then if she feels like doing something different, she can pop upstairs to the closet and pick out a new thing and swap it out or whatever. But 10 drawers. You've all seen my bathroom by now. I don't have a drawer. But anywho, 10 drawers. So she could have organised herself in the bathroom. Have everything put away. Know what's in what drawer. Nice clean counter. Perfect. No. She's got 10 drawers, but then she had to get a big fuck off white ceramic shell or whatever it is to put on the counter to throw shit in. And then she says, oh, I couldn't find my so-and-so. It was right at the bottom of the bowl. Maybe if you put it back in the drawer it belonged in.
Then I have a makeup closet upstairs.
Oh, she's moved that bin to up there now. I wish she'd do a...
So,
can I grab that picture and make it bigger? No. That's a shame. Because I love mooching in people's houses. You know, I spend a lot of time on houses for sale. Just looking around at houses. I know I can't afford that. I'll never be able to buy, but I just love that. And so when other people do home tours, I love looking to see how they've organised something or where they've put it or whatever. Can you imagine having a room, because that's a fucking room. That's the size of Madam's bedroom. They call it a fucking bedroom in the UK and she calls it a closet. Can you imagine having that amount of room just for your makeup? No clothes, no skincare, just makeup. See, or whatever hobby you have or collection you have. What gets me, right, I watch a lot of organising videos and decluttering videos and stuff like that. And it makes me laugh because it's always an American. They've always got a fucking enormous house. And they're telling me how to organise. If I had that amount of room just for my makeup, I could have my filming set up in there. I could have everything organised. I could have it set out as an audio booth as well. So when I'm doing books, I could record them in there. Just that tiny little room would help my life no end. But she's upstairs. She's got that. Then she's got a bathroom. Then she's got the massive big sitting room bit at the front. Then she's got the shining closet. And she still hasn't got enough room. That's just upstairs.
So it's there too. And I give makeup away probably twice a week, either to Brooke, one of Brooke's friends, my mom. My mom and dad have some people that they share with from me, my cleaning girls, one of my friends, another one of my friends. So I don't just hoard makeup. If I have to buy something again,
I don't just hoard makeup, she says, after showing a room that size full of makeup. So you're saying you don't hoard it because you've got the room for it, so you don't consider yourself a hoarder. That's still hoarding makeup. What I do's hoarding makeup. I only have one face. I haven't put any on since I can remember. I like looking at it though. I know it sounds really sad, but I do. I like the packaging and the colours in the palettes and things like that. I just love looking at stuff. But I wish I had an area like she has to organise everything and be able to put a little vanity desk in there and a mirror and be able to just walk in, have everything to hand, do your makeup, walk out, close the door and go and do something somewhere else. See, I don't have that luxury. I have a bedroom and I have everything that I collect, use, read, fucking play with, whatever, is all in this one room. So you don't have body care or skin care or makeup or anything like that in your bedroom. You've got that massive fucking bathroom and the closet, and you use John's closet as well. Look at that face. Couldn't you just thump it? See, that's the difference. Oh, I'm not a hoarder. Whatever. Would you say the same about clothes?
I'll just buy it again. I've just learned my lesson.
I've just learned my lesson. No, Lisa. You don't throw it away and then buy it again. If you've given it away and you had it before, tough shit. You can't buy it. Talk about wasting fucking money and resources.
One of my friends, another one of my friends. So I don't just hoard makeup. If I have to buy something again, I'll just buy it again. I've just learned my lesson. When I moved in this house, whoa, when we moved, period, it taught me a lesson on keeping so much stuff. So I hope that helps. But
what lesson did it teach you? It taught you get a bigger house so then you can keep more stuff is what it taught you. I give up.
Even the drawers are organized like, foundations and primers. And then it's, concealers, powders, bronzers, contours, and blushes. Just the typical. Okay, Botox and fillers routine at the moment. If it's not too personal to answer. If it is, I'll understand. I'm actually going today. I'd love something done on my chin. It just depends. I go to a dermatologist that also does this, and she's very, very practical. I have tried to go to some other people that are up my way and aren't so far away, and the last one really did a good job, but there were some things that were left out, and I'm like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm going to go to her today. I was actually supposed to get my last or another V-beam. I'm going to cancel that. And if you don't know about that, then I'll put the video I just made about that up here. So I do get it. I don't, you know what? I'm going to do a separate video on...
Oh, for fuck's sake. She does that. Every time she does a question and answer video. Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to do a video on that. And then she never does, thankfully. But then she never answers the fucking question she's been asked.
And mistakes I've made with Botox and fillers. I'll do that because there's a lot of different things that I don't do and that I have done and that didn't work out well for me. So it's a lot of trial and error, paying attention to... I'll never forget when I first started getting Botox. I think it might have been before YouTube. I had gotten too much on the sides of my eyes and I was standing outside talking to my neighbor. I could barely squint my eyes. That's how much. So just different little things like that I remember. Okay, what is your relationship like with your sister-in-law?
Oh, whoever you are. Thank you, Julia. 1311. We've been wanting to ask that question for a long time.
Is she into fashion and makeup like you? Okay, so my brother's wife, I, didn't spend enough time really around John's sisters, but I always got along well with them. They made me feel immediately welcomed into the family. I have the best family-in-law ever and fabulous, loving aunts. Like when we would get up, they'd run outside and just take my kids and just everything. So everything's wonderful with them, but I don't live near them. Now, my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, I love her. I love her. She is beautiful. She is a good mom. She is a good wife. She has a beautiful personality. I don't see her, as much as I would like because she works. She's got a big time job. And
why have you paused like that? Is it because you're lying?
has a beautiful personality. I don't see her, as much as I would like because she works. She's got a big time job. And, my niece is 12. So we're on a different, little lifestyle that way. And she does love clothes and she does love to shop and all of those things. We're just on a little bit of a different schedule. But I love her. My whole family loves her. They have been married. I was pregnant with Will at their wedding, if that tells you anything. They have been dating and been together since before I met John. So we love her and we get along well. A lot of people ask me about my close family. And one thing I want to say is if it is a priority to you, it comes over most anything else. I put my relationships with them in the respect for her because she is my brother's wife and she is my niece's mom and I respected her before then, but we don't have big family arguments like I hear of other people doing. I cannot imagine anything in this world that any one of my family could say to me or do, I just can't imagine being mad at them or...
Yeah, because they're all too fucking frightened to say anything to you. That's why. Just going to grab some tissue and get rid of this chewing gum. I will be back.
Letting my pride or anything else ruin that relationship. I put the relationships even before myself. So.
Of course you do. Yeah. Can you brush your hair, Lisa, at the back? It looks fucking awful. Leave her alone. Don't start calling her. She's happy. She's contented. See, this is what I don't get with people. They're like, oh, where are they? So-and-so, so-and-so. So they call the animal. The animal comes running in going, what? And you're like, aren't they cute? And you turn around and ignore them then. Leave them alone.
Okay, so I love her very much. I just saw her, not this past weekend, but the past weekend before. As soon as I got Lola, I took her over there. I mean, the whole thing. Okay, let's see. How do you stay so confident as you are aging? I am turning 40 this year and I'm scared. Okay, that's a perfect video. I'm making a whole video for you.
So basically, your question and answer thing is just give me ideas for videos because I can't make them up myself. I can't think of anything to do.
Lisa, you have been a positive role model and we are...
See? Answer the question! And then do an entire video if you feel it warrants it. But yeah, I'm going to do a video. You won't do a video though, will you? Lisa, you've been a positive role model. And we are blessed to have you share so much.
Blessed to share so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much because, wow, sometimes I just feel like I have shared too much. And I have opened myself up. And sometimes I really feel like I overshare and I'm over dramatic. I was just watching an interview with Jackie Ina on Emma Greed's channel this morning. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but she was saying that one thing that made it easy for her is that because she started out doing makeup and just makeup, and she was only shown from here up, and she was in the same place, no one knew about her love life, her body, her clothes, her home, things like that. And because I make videos all over my home, I've always done a full outfit. I've shared with you every single thing I've purchased and a lot of my thoughts and feelings. I open myself up to a lot more. And it could be said, she said that she had a YouTube personality. And maybe I should have done that, but I don't know if it would have been rewarding enough to continue. There's
You couldn't do that because you're a narcissist. And it had to be all about you, and you had to talk about I, and me. And that is why you gave things away, because you like to brag.
Intrinsic rewards and happiness, and there's extrinsic. I am a very intrinsic person. Like, something has to feel. A lot of creative people are. That's why a lot of artists and
a lot of creative people are. At what point are you creative, Lisa? You don't know how to dress yourself. You do exactly the same makeup look over and over and over and over again. Even if you're saying that you're doing a different one, it's never different. You had to get an interior designer to help you do the house. Which bit of you's creative?
And things like that. Like, I've even told you when I used to sew, I didn't enjoy it as much if someone else picked out the fabrics and I was making a bag for them. Same amount of money, same time, wasn't as rewarding. So a lot of times...
No, because you had to be in charge, because you're an arc. It's not because you're creative. Twist it how you want, Lisa. It all comes back to you being an arc.
Sometimes artists or writers, they want to paint, they want to write, but as soon as it becomes monetary and your rewards are extrinsic, like reviews, money, a book deal, requests for art, then it becomes, like I've always said, a job, which is not as rewarding to someone like me. So to keep this...
Oh, then it becomes a job. Yet some people need to do that to fucking live, Lisa. You've always had John to fall back on. But I thought you wanted to make money. I thought that was the whole point, being an entrepreneur.
From being a job, though I still love to make money. I still love to have a career. I still love accomplishments. I've maintained my intrinsic happiness, and that comes from showing you what I'm truly passionate about and doing things that are rewarding within myself. Like right now, I'm opening up myself to criticism of my little puppy, what I'm letting her do right now. By telling you what I had done at the vet, I'm opening up.
Having a puppy dance around on the rug playing with toys, how would anybody find anything wrong with that? I think you might get better comments about you letting the dog out and playing instead of it being in a fucking crate with a piss pad and its food. They're gonna be mean to me.
Up myself to that criticism. What's really gotten me through lately is just always telling myself, I would have to see your relationship with your family. I would have to see your relationship with your puppies. I would have to see what you did with your dogs. You know what I mean? I really have honed in on, I do what's right for me and for my life. And so that has helped so much. And it will help with your confidence too. Say thank you for rewarding me in that way, because that is a reward for sharing so much. Just the feeling that I may have helped someone is very intrinsically rewarding to me. I care. I do care. Okay, when can we buy your lipstick in Germany? I will ask John. He is the one that handles, John and Brooke are my shipping department, and he handles that. So I will mention that to him. Okay, have you ever been best friends with someone then drifted apart? Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's very, very common. Very common. Friends for a reason, friends for a season, friends for a lifetime. And it's not something to feel bad about. And then I also have friends that I talk to less than a handful of times a year, and I still consider they're in my heart. Like they're part of me. They were part of a important time of my life. But we all change. And to think that you don't is really, it's denial. We all change. That's why even in our marriages, we have to have, I always call it a renewing of the contract. Sometimes you'll just have to have a sit down and say, look, yes, I've changed. I'm not the little mama that loves to cook dinner and make cakes and cookies and all the things that I
Cook dinner, make cakes and cookies. Really? Did you? Funny how when it was Brooke's birthday, her grandma made her fucking birthday cake because you couldn't be bothered. A renewing of the contract. Who fucking says that? That just proves that you didn't marry John for love. It was basically a contract. I'll give you children if you let me stay at home. I'll do XYZ if you do ABC. That's what it was. And yet people are like, oh, you and John are so cute together. Yeah, really? Are they?
I used to love doing, but I'm still the same person, but I have changed. We're supposed to. That's growth. That is what happens. That is, sometimes we pivot more than others, and sometimes one person changes more than the other, but you renegotiate and you put your relationship first.
Renegotiate. You renegotiate. Are people not listening to this? Do they not hear what we hear?
First. So there have been times where I know that I changed, and I know that friends were not comfortable with the change in me. And then there have been times where I was friends with someone, and then when I changed, I was not comfortable with the way our friendship was and the way they treated me and spoke to me, and just the different concepts of our relationship. But it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's just the way it is. It just is. And there's no one to blame. There are a lot of relationships that will dissolve through no fault of either person. And, even a lot of times I'll even think like in an accident, a traffic accident. It's an accident. It's an accident. Yes, the insurance has to blame someone, but there's always just two sides to it. So don't feel bad about it. Now, if you want the relationship to work, then sometimes you have to put the importance of the relationship above other things like your pride, or sometimes you just need to back off talking so much, or you have to put it kind of in a category where I really love this person. I love who they are, but we're just not the kind of friends that need to talk every day. I've done that. So there's many different ways to handle that, and it takes a while. It takes a few friendships going maybe awry to get to that point. But I have kind of dissolved friendships before and never looked back and thought, wow.
Dissolved friendships. Everything's a contract with her, isn't it? What can they do for me? When they're no longer useful to me, that's it, I'm out.
That was the best thing for both of us. And then I have dissolved friendships, and we just needed a little bit of time, and we just needed to renegotiate our contract. Maybe we're not the friends that talk 3 times a day. Maybe we're the friends that talk once a week, and that's worked out well. So I hope that helps you. Okay, I have little ones. I love hearing you talk about staying stylish and feminine in motherhood. Thank you. Feminine energy is something that is at the core of my being. In a lot of ways, a lot of things that I even tell you guys are just another way that I express feminine energy. Even in that last video, when someone asked me, how do I keep my husband crazy about me? It's a lot of feminine energy. And it's a lot of respecting his masculine energy and really loving his masculine energy. And part of, like, I went to big time feminine energy coaching class and was tested and everything. One of the biggest things that you teach with feminine energy is for a woman to be content within herself and
But you're not, though, are you? If you were content within yourself, you wouldn't be lasering your face off. You wouldn't be going to New York looking for apartments and getting all giddy over, what was his name, Jerry?
There's a lot to it, but when I talk about having a thing going on within yourself and not wrapping up all of your happiness within any other person, even your husband, the thought of, I never bugged him at work. I've never had to be up under him, and I've never thought that I needed him to survive. And
I've never bugged him at work. Hands up how many of you out there have rung your husband's work. Unless it was a major, major catastrophe at home. Yeah, I don't see many hands. No one bugs their husband at work, Lisa. When I left Butlins and Jed was still working there, I phoned him once because I put my back out. Went upstairs to the loo, bent down to pull my pants up, and my back was like, yeah, doink. So it took me good on 20 minutes to get down the stairs to where tech help was in a high chair. And then I stood at the front door hoping that a neighbour had walked past because we didn't have a phone. And one of the neighbours did, and I said to her, can you do me a favour? 1, get him out of the high chair, and 2, give Jed a ring at work and tell him not to come back like a lunatic in the car. But that was it. I've never phoned him at work other than that time. And we've been married 31 years. The fuck? I never bugged him at work. Tick. Why would you need to ring him at work? I don't get this fucking woman.
That really helps. That allows me to be in my feminine energy at most times. Okay. So, and one thing I love, just like I love taking care of that little monster right there, I love taking care of things. I missed it. She has brought that back out. I love just maternal instincts. I love children. I deeply love children. I really do. It's not, some people don't just love children, but they love their children. But I deeply love children, period.
You know I love children, but I like to go to the pool at 2:30 when there isn't any. Yeah, you really love other people's children, don't you? Okay.
Period. And that always helped with my motherhood. I would say a big thing too, I didn't mention this the other day, but I think a big reason that my children are still very close to me and are just always around me and are just have good memories and everything is because I never worried about what other people thought about my children. I was not concerned with what they thought about what they were wearing, how they did in school. I was not concerned about, they are not pride pieces for me. Instead, I wanted them to be themselves and still do. I wanted them to appreciate their differences from other people and from me. And I want them to make their own decisions. I am not really nosy. I don't need to know all their business. I don't need to control it. I need them to make their own mistakes. I feel like if you're...
So why did you hold Will back an entire year in school? If it's not about what they're doing and comparing them to other people's children.
You're a mom and you rob children especially adult children, of making their own mistakes, it is not a good thing.
Fuck off, Lisa. The woman who made her daughter come back home to steam her clothes when she'd finally got away, had an apartment of her own and had a job, you couldn't fucking help it but drag her back. You could have employed someone to be your steamer. Having someone doing an actual job, proper job, coming in, doing proper hours, getting paid a proper wage. But no, you wanted her where you wanted her so you could keep an eye on her and hold her back. And hold her down. Bollocks, you talk. Bollocks.
It's really a bad thing. And I would pay for everything and do everything for everybody till the end of time. But I just know to be a good mom, I can't do that. And they've got to eventually leave the nest. And to do that, you have to let them make mistakes. And you can't be worried about what the woman down the street thinks, even to the point where I'm lucky that my mother-in-law and father-in-law and my parents aren't judgy. So I don't have to worry about impressing them. We all love them for who they are and not the grades they make or not anything else like that. So she's a little scavenger. You're a little scavenger, aren't you? Come here. Come here. Okay, that's what she does. See, it made her happy. I wanted her to come over here, and she didn't. Okay.
Yeah, do you know why she doesn't want to come over there? Because she doesn't like you grabbing her. She doesn't like you petting her like that and poking your finger in her eye. And she doesn't like you. Full stop, that's why. If you were John, she'd have come running up. No problem, I guarantee it. The hell is that supposed to be? Oh, an ice cube maker. Ooh, I could get one of them. And be just like Lisa.
But the stylish part, you have to have a uniform. You have to shop in bulk. And you have to find your go-to pieces that are comfortable, that you feel good in. Even if you hang them in outfits or you stack them in outfits. Have some shoes that are like, I had some fabulous shoes.
Go on, Lola, eat the bedding.
Like the high heel Crocs and the high heel Skechers. That's what I wore all the time. And
high heel Crocs and high heel Skechers. I'm sorry, is there even such a thing? I mean, aren't Crocs just a new... Oh, they are a thing. Did you is that what you are? Fuck off, did you go tootling around after kids in them? Pride of woman, holes in woman's high heel slippers, clogs, just like Crocs, adult classic clog. These are a new thing, aren't they? And what else did you say? Skechers. What do you call a high heel? That's not a high heel. Anyhow. She's a loon. Yeah, what if they can't afford to buy a uniform in bulk and stack it? What if every last penny's gone on the children? She doesn't see. It's like I've said to Jed all the time. You ask somebody a question, they're answering you from their viewpoint. She's answering this woman from what she did, but what she did, other people can't do because they're not stay-at-home mums with fucking what's the word? Oh, my head, I hate it. With fucking budgets that don't run out and they can buy themselves clothes till they're coming out their ears.
I just had every year I would do kind of like that before school shopping that we used to do or something, because I didn't order online back then. I'll be honest with you. I did some because I remember.
She's eating the ottoman as well. Go on, Lola. Cause a riot. I predict a riot.
Remember, almost all my maternity wear with Will was from Old Navy. So I did some, but I was still like a mall shopper back then. And just dresses, 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 and more dresses.
What if the lady you're talking to doesn't like dresses? We don't want to hear what you did. She wanted... What's the word? Oh, for fuck's sake, head. She wanted help for her situation. She doesn't want to be you.
Dresses from Walmart, dresses from Target. Brooke wore dresses from Walmart, dresses from Target especially, dresses from Old Navy, dresses from Gap. That was just so easy. And I was the woman out in the yard watering the plants with a dress on because...
Yes, and what if you live in the UK and it's pissing down rain? Or what if you're in New York and it's snowing? I did.
I felt good. I felt feminine. I felt pretty, but I was comfortable. I was cool. And you know, when I was talking about, knowing what to want and about budgeting and everything, one thing I can remember is a big treat for me was a new crepe myrtle. I remember specifically this red crepe myrtle I wanted, and it was kind of expensive because red...
What's a crepe myrtle? Hang on, here we go. Let's put the things on.
It's like the high heel Crocs and the high heel Skechers. That's what I wore all the time. And I just had every year I would do kind of like that before school shopping that we used to do or something, because I didn't order online back then. I'll be honest with you. I did some because I remember almost all my maternity wear with Will was from Old Navy. So I did some, but I was still like a mall shopper back then.
I didn't have maternity wear. I didn't go out and buy anything specific for being pregnant. Some of us don't have the money to be able to buy maternity wear. Some of us don't have the money to be able to eat when we have children. So running out to Old Navy for our uniform is not going to happen. Just because you did and you could doesn't mean everybody else can.
And just dresses, 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 and more dresses. Dresses from Walmart, dresses from Target. Brooke wore dresses from Walmart, dresses from Gap. Bring the plants with a dress on because I felt good. I felt feminine. I felt pretty, but I was comfortable. I was cool. And you know, when I was talking about, knowing what to want and about budgeting and everything, one thing I can remember is a big treat for me was a new crepe myrtle. I remember specifically.
What the fuck is a crepe myrtle? Flowers. She wanted a plant. How many first-time mums have got leftover money to be buying plants and fuck knows what, and 75 dresses all the same? She's clueless. Fucking clueless. She's got no idea what it's like in the real world. Why is anyone asking her for fucking... I can't think of the word. My head hurts. What's the word I'm groping for? Not information. Help. Whatever. What's the word? No one should be asking her anything.
This red crepe myrtle I wanted, and it was kind of expensive because red isn't one of the go-to, pink, white. It was kind of a different color. And I saw it when I was driving, and so I stopped, and it was, I don't even know how much, but I remember asking John, could I have that crepe myrtle? And that would be like something big for us to do. I remember, and then he planted it, and I watered it, and I loved it, and I was proud of it.
That's when you were going through your plant phase, was it?
A lot of pride in our yard was a big thing. I would always have a new wreath, and I remember his mom bought me this expensive wreath that I put on the door. I was always
proud of our front yard, but yet your stairs on your porch were falling apart. The wood was all old and cracking. It needed painting and it hadn't been done. I'd see it was an obsession. Back then, it would have been perfection. But then she's got over the crepe myrtle phase and she wants to do something else.
Really am the person I am now, but within homemaking and my children. And I really did just mundane things with them, but made it special. And then we would do things like, John, we would go to the museum, or we would go to Fort Fisher, to the aquarium.
Oh, isn't it funny? Oh, hello, Lisa. That was a reply in one of my comments about, oh, that sounds like fun, sitting in a shady spot. What about a museum? She ain't listening to you girls at all, is she? And Jen, sorry.
It seemed like we always had a birthday party or some event to go to, and just kind of embrace that time of your life, because you'll never get it again, but I really mean it. You'll never get it again. You'll never even have an opportunity to get that again. Like right now, all the mistakes that I feel like I made with my Chihuahua Bridget, I'm getting to kind of do it over a little bit, but I'll never get that do-over again with my children. The closest thing I'll ever get is if they have grandchildren, which again, I have told them, do not have them for me. Have them for you, but do not have children for me. I don't have that expectation on them. And so, yeah, and if you have to get off social media, get off social media. Just be in.
Oh, shame you didn't listen to that when your poor children are being harassed by meanies. You didn't take them off the internet, or take yourself off the internet so they couldn't get fucking made fun of. No.
Immersed in that life, because it's so short-lived. It really is. And do the thing. I always did the things at school. I loved it. I loved it. But I did not try to be parent extraordinaire. Don't get me wrong. I was not someone who was on every committee. I tried it. I tried it with Will. I tried to get on a lot of committees and stuff. I didn't enjoy it. I would rather be their mom. I'm not worried about being known at the school. I'm not worrying about...
You weren't fucking clever enough, Lisa. Admit it.
Does the principal know me or anything, or any notoriety at all? The biggest thing I remember thinking is, you better believe I was at every open house. I wanted all the teachers to know he or she has a mom that cares about her, that is paying attention, and is here and wants to hear it all, and don't think this kid isn't cared for. You know what I mean? Because that was most important to me. Okay, let's see. HRT, so much out there, nowhere to start, past blood tests, can't spend a lot, broke. Okay, I understand. The blood tests are really laughable, because when I was going through my 2 to 3 year period of going from doctor to doctor, wondering what was wrong with me, and it ended up being just IBS, I always thought it had something to do with menopause, and I do think my IBS got worse through menopause. And I remember them doing that blood test and telling me all the time that my estrogen was at a normal level. Well, the reason that's kind of laughable is it fluctuates all day, every day. So that really isn't an indicator, and it gave me a false way of thinking, because I can remember you guys even telling me, Lisa, it's menopause, it's menopause. And I was like, well, I would just keep listening to the doctor. So I don't think that that's reliable, I will say. And I wish I would have gotten on HRT before that, but it wasn't as talked about. And I will say I wasn't as interested. So, MIDI Health, I've never worked with MIDI Health, but I do think I think that I've always gone to men. That's part of my personality, is I like male doctors most of the time, and maybe it just happened that way. But I think if I maybe would have had a woman, things might have been different. I do feel like that MIDI Health has helped a lot of people that I know, and I think there's an open...
What's MIDI Health?
There's a lot more of an open mind, and even more open-minded studies. Dr. Atia, a lot of doctors like that. It's a lot more prevalent. Okay. Just wanted to say no. Just wanted to say thank you for the years of your videos. Love your authenticity. Thank you.
Authenticity, my ass. I just want to look at this thing on QVC. I'll be back. Right, I'm back. It was 2 large Lazy Susans, and I've got like an Alex set of drawers, and I think it would be easier on top of it because I want to put my perfume in something. And so if I had them in one of those, it's easier to get to than trying to lean over and knocking half a dozen bottles over. But I wanted to check the price elsewhere, because sometimes you see stuff on there and you think, oh, that's a good deal. Then you look somewhere else and they're fucking £10 cheaper or something. But no, it was a really good deal. So, where are we? No. Just wanted to say thank you for the years of videos. Love your authenticity.
Thank you, Lisa. I met Lisa at a meet and greet. Diane, my once thick hair is thinner, probably due to aging. Any suggestions for older women? Hey, Diane.
Get a
I've
wig.
met her. I've had lunch with her and bought some of her art. Let's see. I would say diet. Diet. And then, a lot of people really recommend that oral, what am I trying to say? Rogaine. Oral Rogaine. I know MIDI Health helps with that too. I thought about it, but then didn't want to do it because I knew what my hair loss was from. And honestly, even before I realized I was losing so much hair, what really clued me in was all the new hair. So even on my hair journey, I haven't had that feeling like I wasn't going to get my hair back. I mostly had to be patient and wait for the new hair to grow out. So that is a little bit of a difference, but if I had to do it again, maybe I would have considered it more, but I'm just such a freak about not wanting to be on something for the rest of my life. That kind of bothers me a little bit. I don't like feeling dependent on something, but if I were in my 60s, 70s, or whatever, I would take it. The only thing I've heard is it makes your hair grow more everywhere. But I'm not a really hairy person anywhere, so I don't know if that would bother me. But being on carnivore diet, I get a lot of zinc and collagen and protein and fats and all of that stuff. And, a big one is having your iron tested, because I was low iron and now I'm not because of carnivore. But I remember Brooke was having hair fall out, and when I took her to the dermatologist, they said to have her iron tested and it was low. And when we corrected it and she started taking the iron, it got better. Okay, you guys. Were you just chewing on the bed?
Yeah.
Were you just chewing on the bed for no reason?
Yeah, she's chewed on the bed, on the bedding, and on the ottoman. She's having a whale of a time while you're not paying any attention to her.
Were you? Okay, let's just say her name can be Lola Bad Bunny. It really comes out at night. Like after dinner, whew, she is something. And I know she's teething, but the girl likes to bite. She's like a little dingo. That's what we called Bridget, a little dingo, because she was such a little wild dingo. That's how she is. But I know it gets better because Bridget was like that too. And then after she went through that phase, you could barely get her out of her bed. Okay, if you were at school now, what would you choose to do as an occupation? I don't know. I went to college for a while, and my parents, they saw how miserable I was, and they were finally like, don't do it for us. We're going to be fine if you, and I quit immediately. I could not get it through my mind. I remember a girl, we were walking in gym class and she was pregnant, and I could not, it just baffled me because, okay, are you going to, unless you just knew you were going to put your children in daycare. And see, that was never, ever, ever something I wanted. So I couldn't wrap my brain around, if I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom and have children, why was I going to start a career? And so that, I think, is what
Oh, you fuckwit. You do all your education, you have your children, and then you go and look for your career because you have all the education done. Just because you pass an exam doesn't mean you have to go straight into that line of work. Have they got the thing I want to see? They've got Easy Yo. If anyone else got Easy Yo on QVC, it's a yogurt. It's really easy to make, hence why it's called Easy Yo. You just get it in a packet. It's powdered, and you put it in water in a thing, and then you stand it in another thing in boiling water, and you leave it overnight, and then you have yogurt the next day. But the company did these fruit squirts that you could put on the top and whatever. They were fucking gorgeous. And I just said to Jed the other day, every so often we'll buy a normal, I'm saying a normal, a plain cheesecake. And I said to him the other day, that squirty stuff from Easy-O would have been gorgeous on top. But I don't think they still do it. Now that I've remembered, I'm going to go and look. You can come with me if you like. Oh, they are still doing it at Lakeland. Are they doing it at Easy-O? Easy-O UK. There we go. Because I'm not sure. Oh, they do it in a jar now. Looks like... oh, for fuck's sake, I hate pop-ups. Looks like tomato sauce or something. Cherry and plum, mixed berry, strawberry. The strawberry was yummy. Raspberry, mango. I'm going to leave that there. I might get some later to have on top of the thing. Where the hell was I? There. But yeah, if you like yogurt, you can make your own with this. It's great. And I think the jar that you make lasts for about 2 weeks. So you've got enough for like breakfast every day or a pudding every day or whatever it is you want to do with it. And then normally it came with a book, recipe book. And you can do 101 different things with it. And you can put it through muslin and make cheese out of it. It's really good stuff. And it's got all the bits and bobs in it that you're supposed to have. I might get some again. But see, the thing is, I'm not downstairs. And it's unfair to say, oh, can you make me this and do that? Because it's something you have to think about. You have to remember how long it's been in the thing and to get it in the fridge and how long it's been in the fridge and da-da-da-da. And my memory's shit. I'll put something on the shopping list and I'll forget I ordered it. And by the time I remember it, it's out of date. So I've said to Jed, he has to remind me of shit that I buy because otherwise I don't know. And then it never gets eaten because it's like, Mum ordered that, leave that for Mum. And it's like, fuck's sake, don't do that. Just eat it if you see it. Because obviously I've forgotten about it. Anyway, back to Madam.
I always had in my mind because unlike a lot of stay-at-home mom and have children, why was I going to start a career? And so that I think is what I always had in my mind because unlike a lot of women that want to be boss babes and want to be a career woman and are very driven and things like that, I had equal drive towards being a mom and being a wife and being a good wife and a good mom. It was a career to me. It is a career. And I don't think people realize that. And honestly, here where I live, remember when I talked...
Having children is not a career, you fuckwit.
About you're not supposed to know what's going on in the whole world and compare yourself to the whole world. You compare yourself to your community, your tribe. Where I live and where I was at that moment, to be a stay-at-home mom was a real flex. It meant you were willing to give up that income and it meant your husband could support you. It was just a thing. It was like a good thing to be a stay-at-home mom. I know
that's why you wanted to do it, because it was a flex back then.
Never knew people looked down on stay-at-home moms until I started YouTube. And then it opened up to me that some people looked down on that. But how much would you have to pay someone to be a mom to your children? That's how much money you make. And I've even heard people say that if a couple gets together and they know they want to have children, that the mom, and this is someone who's been through a divorce, and she was saying to not have a bad divorce, you should have a set salary set aside for you in case of a divorce so that when you did get divorced and you've been there raising the children and you haven't been making money, that you're not kicked out, with no money. That it's all up to and then it's all up to the man. So I don't know how I feel about all that, but it was interesting to me because it's so true. And I've heard a lot of moms say they would much rather go to work than, be home. I enjoyed it. Even when John got home, he changed clothes and went to the gym. Or I was not the mom that handed my kids off and took off. I just enjoyed it. And that was my career choice. And I never really thought about another one. The only thing, my backup, and I was getting an English degree when I was going, was to be a teacher. And you know what? That's because that was the closest thing I could do to being a mom in my mind and be with children. So no regrets, no regrets.
Can you imagine her being a teacher? Really? Can you?
Okay, mindset. I think I've touched on that. You'd have to explain that a little bit further. I do really think that okay, now she's ripping the sheets. I'm not even gonna. Some things like children, you just let it go. What are you doing? Did you rip that thread out of those sheets that mommy loves? Okay, I'll watch her and move her in a minute. Well, I can move her now. I'll just go try to get her. She'll move and I'll tuck back in. What are you doing? You guys are getting a true visit today. Okay. What do you...
Why does she overreact to the fucking dumbest of shit? To the most mundane thing in life? Oh, you guys, you're getting a real... We're seeing your puppy run around being a puppy.
What are you doing? What's that? What's that? What is that? She's quite the little circus dog, too. She can stand on her hind feet for a long time. Okay, but mindset. There are some people that feel like the world is happening to them. That's how they experience life. It's your locus of, let me look it up real quick. Locus of control. I am someone who thinks I have control, that I control what happens to me, and I always have been. I think we all have kind of like an inner voice or an inner dialogue, and I have always felt very in control of my life. And I think
you've always felt very in control of your life, but you ended up divorced and unable to look after yourself, and you had to go home to mummy and daddy. How is that being in control?
That leads to a lot of confidence and success kind of early on, because you do the hard things and you're willing to fail because you know that you can fix it and you can handle it because you are the one that controls your life. And I think that was one of the worst things about being in my first marriage is I could not control him. I could not control the situation. I could not. I tried everything. I tried
everything to control that man. It's not about controlling them. Fuck's sake.
The situation. I could not. I tried everything. I tried everything. You guys would just die if you knew the things I let go, the things I just tried so hard. And so that was really hard for me to let that go because I was not used to not being able to fix things, and I could.
I wasn't used to getting my own way, not getting my own way. And for the first time you were not getting your own way and you didn't like it and you tried stamping your feet and that didn't work. Ain't that the truth, Lisa? Tell it how it was.
Go, because I was not used to not being able to fix things, and I couldn't. So that's a long answer to that. Life, I think I'm doing that. And then
go on, Lola. She's just hit that ball thing and it's out on the floor, and Madam here says she won't go on the floor, and I'm willing her to go out on the floor, and then she'll take off and she'll be everywhere and she won't be able to control her at all.
Okay, your video with Tracy, the designer, one of my very best friends, was one of your favorites. Aww. Will she be back? Yes. I just talked to her this morning. I talk to her every day. I made her watch that video. I said, just put it on 2 times the speed. And that's what I would tell you guys too. Sometimes I have to watch videos on 1.5 times. Rarely 2 times. I have to watch my own videos on 2 times because I have to watch them like so many times when I'm getting them edited. But if I talk too much or it's too long of a video, put it on 1.25 times or 1.5 times. Let's see.
Where she found that out, girlies?
So yeah, she will be back for sure. Which tips can you share on confidence? We'll do a video on that. What happened with your Monat? Do you ever still use it? Just like every other product that I have loved so much in the past, it's kind of like I've just moved on. And I do believe now there's a lot of research about the red clover, and a lot of the hair growth shampoos share a lot of the same ingredients that Monat does. And I think because I did not know much about that sales structure, for some reason it just brought out the most hate that I have
So you didn't know you were part of an MLM? Fuck off. You saw that, you had fucking dollar signs in your eyes, and you saw that as a way of screwing your subscribers out of more money.
probably ever experienced. I don't know if it was because people thought I might be making some money, which to me is not a bad thing. That was one of the most positive experiences I've ever had with a company, with events. They were the kindest, most generous, nicest people. Every event was a growing. I've gone to Vegas, I've gone to Washington, I won awards. It was nothing but a positive experience. But for some reason, it ended up being, I've even had friends say, I quit watching your video when you started talking about Monat. And I just feel like that's not a me problem. That's a you problem. Because I enjoyed every minute of it. I loved
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed earning from it. I enjoyed you lot buying it so that I earned from it. I enjoyed going on trips. I enjoyed getting awards. What about all the women that bought it and their hair fell out, huh? Couldn't give a fuck about them, could you? No. What about all the people that you got to fucking sign up on an auto delivery thing that they couldn't fucking end? And then they wrote to you in the comments and said, how do I cancel this? And you never fucking answered them. What about that?
That's a you problem. Because I enjoyed every minute of it. I loved it. But it's just not, it's not in my wheelhouse right now. And I really love the Way Fine shampoo and conditioner. I will, if you've been here, you know that things cycle in and out. And like I said, just because I like one thing doesn't mean I don't like another. Just because my favorite lipstick now is X doesn't mean I didn't love Y. So I hope that answers your question. Will you ever do more courses? Yes. I even thought about making the confidence a course and just not charging a lot for it. But you've got to understand there's more than money when it comes to charging people for things. It weeds out.
What's this? It filters for skin in the game. Financial commitment signals readiness. People who pay are invested in getting results. Free resources are often ignored. Psychological studies show people rarely value what they get for free. Payment reduces dropouts. Customers who pay are significantly more likely to show up and finish a program. It filters out bad actors and drama. I hate that, bad actors. I really do. That's a phrase I can't bear. The fuck is that supposed to even mean? Anywho. Free attracts chronic complainers, does it though? Entitled individuals often demand the most time while paying the least. Price acts as a barrier. It deters people who are just browsing, scraping data or looking for a loophole. Respect increases with price. Customers generally treat service providers better when they perceive high value through cost. Really? Really? It filters for mutual alignment. It qualifies the problem. If someone won't pay to fix an issue, the problem is not urgent enough for them yet. It builds equal partnerships. A financial transaction establishes professional boundaries and mutual accountability. It saves your energy. You spend less time chasing lukewarm leads and more time serving dedicated clients. When you charge what you're worth, you are not being greedy. You are creating a boundary that protects your time and ensures you only work with people who truly value your expertise. But you've got no expertise, Lisa, in anything.
People's intentions, and it's different. If you know, you know. Even the cost of something will be a filter for the person that ends up being there. And if you don't understand that, then I don't mean to be negative in any way, but it's a true fact.
Sorry, I zoned out. I didn't hear what she said.
It's different. If you know, you know. Even the cost of something will be a filter for the person that ends up being there. And if you don't understand that, then I don't mean to be negative in any way, but it's a true fact. And so that is a lot of it. And I cannot believe, like when I introduced my Patreon.
Is she on the floor? It looks like she's on the floor.
That was, I think, $25 a month, or my membership that was $25 a month. The amount of hate I got for that.
Yes, because most people did membership at $5. There was a first tier at $1, then it went up to $5, then $10, then something else. You went straight in at $25 for one extra video a month, and you couldn't even keep that fucking up. Shut up. You're greedy. It's all fucking greed. Just admit it. And how many videos did you do before you got bored with it and stopped doing it? 9. That really was some commitment, wasn't it?
That was $25 a month. The amount of hate I got for that. And I think I lost about, I don't know, at least over 5,000 subscribers. And it was purely optional. My brain doesn't work like that. I don't have a problem with other people making money and if they add value to my life.
Yeah, neither do we. What we have a problem with is someone scamming people at $25 for a video. One video a month, $25. Who do you think you are?
Like that. I don't have a problem with other people making money and if they add value to my life. And so I don't know if it was misunderstood, like I wasn't going to do regular videos. I don't know. I think within women especially, you will never get that from men. One man will never be mad at another man and not be friends with him because he's doing well or, making...
It's not about that. See, this is typical fucking narc behaviour. Blame every fucker else but yourself. It was because you were charging too much for fuck all. If you've got 2 cakes in front of you and they're the exact same thing, being made with the exact same ingredients, and one person's charging a tenner and the next person is charging 30, who do you buy it from? That's why people went away, because they were disgusted with you. That you were going into this, you didn't even have a £1 or a £5 tier. No, straight in at 25 for nothing. For an extra video where you were talking about shit that you talk about in your other videos anyway. They didn't get anything extra. What extra did they get? See, that's the difference between me and you, Lisa. People have said to me, if you did a Patreon, I'd definitely pay to go and watch your Patreon. I wouldn't do a Patreon because I don't know what I've got to offer anyone other than what I'm already doing for free. Why do you have to pay to see me when you can not pay and you see me for free? That's the difference between me and you, Lisa. I don't think I'm God's gift to fucking creation and that every other woman should be bowing down to me at all the things I know and the fucking lessons I teach. Could I just have 5 minutes in a room with her, please, and just tell her exactly how it is, and then ask her why does she think she's worth $25 a month for one shitty video where she sat cross-legged on her chair in her bedroom talking about nothing?
Money. They will usually want to learn more from them, and iron sharpens iron. But women, for some reason, are just not that way, and I just don't think it's a good thing. And, I love success. That's why
I love getting money.
I just can't with her. I really can't. What's that? Oh, they're selling a fan, and I could see this green thing, like a little ribbony thing, doing that at the corner up above my screen. And it's like, what the hell?
a lot of the women that I watch are very successful. I don't want what they want, but that's the difference in our lenses. So I learn from them and I scale it to me. So I will, though. I will. I've kept all my things open and all my sites open for a reason. Let's see. How did you and John navigate life together postpartum, division of tasks, etc.? 31 weeks right now. Ooh. I was a stay-at-home mom, so he never once got up in the night. He did help, like, more than I can remember my dad helping with things like bath time, and he helped by going to work. I never asked him to go to the grocery store. I never asked him to take my kids to school or our kids to school. I never asked him to stay home if they were sick. I never got him to, I considered it was my job. It was my job, and I felt lucky to do it. He never did laundry. He never did cleaning. He never cooked until I got on carnivore, and then he was cooking the steaks because I am someone, it doesn't matter how many times you teach me to do it, I'm scared of the grill, don't like it. And I remember him saying, if I get to retire early, which he did, he retired at 60, he got a early retirement package, then I'll cook dinner every night. And that's what he's done. And now he goes to Walmart. And now he, does some different things. He's playing golf today. He plays golf twice a week. It's not like he doesn't do the laundry, and we have someone cut the yard, and we have someone clean the house. So as life goes on, you adjust. But if you are going to work, then half and half. You split it up. I do not think that a woman should go to.
Okay.
Okay.
That was Jed asking, did I want a coffee? So I'm just letting it cool now. It'll be ready to drink by the time I finish this. Cool. Right, back to Lisa.
To work and come home and feel like she has to cook dinner and all of that stuff. I just don't think a woman, you are going to the house. So as life goes on, you adjust. But if you are going to work, then half and half. You split it up. I do not think that a woman should go to work and come home and feel like she has to cook dinner and all of that stuff. I just don't think it's the way to be. So, but a lot of it, and if you're already 31 weeks pregnant, it's never too late. But a lot of this was discussed before we got married. I mean, I was pretty plain with what I wanted. And we both grew up with stay-at-home moms and very traditional households. So that probably helped a lot. And we're very respectful of each other. Now, I won't say that he didn't say, I've got to go to work. I mean, there were things like that would irritate me. Now, looking back, I think he appreciates it a lot more. But a lot of times I had to suck it up. And, always keep the relationship as the prize. Never get where it's me against you, tit for tat, all those things. To this day, it's an issue, even if it's getting up during the night. It's the issue, and it's both of you on a team coming at that issue. Try not to ever get tit for tat, me against you, putting your pride first. Always put the relationship and the children first, the relationship first. And that will help you a lot. And my mom always said this, and I remember it. A lot of things don't need to be said. He knows. Like a lot of times, like even to this day, I'll tell John something. He doubts me. I'll nicely tell him again. He doubts me. I don't say anything. And then he'll come to me a week later. We need to do so-and-so, so-and-so. It would be easy for me to say, I told you so. Why didn't you listen to me? Or throw a fit the first time I tell him. Some things don't need to be said. Or you just put it out there, and he knows in his head, even if he doesn't say, you were right, I'm sorry. There's just a lot of nuance to it. And when you're putting the other person's feelings and respect for them and the relationship first, you don't get petty. You don't do things because of your pride. You don't try to win. You're not, I'm going to tell it like it is. You know, to me, that's just not attractive as a person. I'm just not that person. I'll chump myself for the marriage for sure, or for a relationship, or sometimes for YouTube. Okay. How to start, how to get PR and connected with brands. You just have to get noticed. This is another thing, like, it would probably be better to ask people that have just started doing it, because it's probably different now. But I just got noticed by brands, by being consistent, by always posting. I think it's evident that I'm pretty honest and authentic into what I like.
Honest. I love it. Where is it now? Oh, I hated it. It was horrible. It's in the bin.
And I stay pretty true to what I like, even if it's not popular. And I think that helps. 55, retired early, no kids, feel lost. Now what to do? Get a puppy. Get a puppy. Get a cat. Get a hobby. Man, love it. Just love being, do different things. Plant a little flower garden. Just
see how she's doing what she would do. Plant a flower garden. Really?
Like, the simplest things bring so much joy. I'm not going to tell you to go out and take dance classes or whatever, even though I think that would work, but just go out to eat by yourself. Go to movies by yourself. Just go to yoga, and who cares if you're good at it? Kind of treat it like I treated traveling alone. I don't care if people don't like where I go or what I do, or that I eat at the same place or whatever. I do what I want to do, and I enjoy it. And it creates a trust and a deep relationship within yourself when you do that. When you let other people dictate what you do and what you like, it chips away at your soul. It really does. It's happened here. You know, you guys have seen me get off the path. I'm constantly having to recenter. Just like on when you're doing that walkie map, like in the city, and you're constantly having to recenter. I'm constantly having to do that. But it's worth it, because
What walkie map and recenter? What in the hell is she on about?
I have a deep respect and good relationship within myself. And I'm not afraid of not being the best. You know, I'm not afraid of that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this I hope you've enjoyed my sideshow and my questions and answers. And I hope that within all of these questions and answers, the message that rings true the most is how much I value my time here and how thankful I am for you. And I'm really even thankful for the negatives, even the mean comments or the negativity, because it has strengthened me and it has recentered me, and it's made me able to help you in ways. So thank you to all of you. Even for those, I have people that are negative that have been here since the beginning, and I kind of get it. I get it. Believe me, I have to watch myself. Sometimes I am like, oh my gosh, Lisa, that was so dramatic. But, none of us are perfect. So thank you for being here. Okay, already said lipstick. Ideal diamonds I haven't taken out. I love this combo of my tiger and the Jennifer Fisher ring. And yeah, Zara, an old jacket, Target tank. Let's see. These are new Susie Condi pants that I got in the sale.
It looks like they shrunk in the wash.
And my glossy tikis. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. And, I have to be so careful not to step on her. Step on that little baby. Okay, guys. Thank you. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
A cat in a box. That is something I've never seen before. Right, we got to the end, folks. And if you got here with me, thank you very much. And I will see you in the next one.